In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your valve cover on your Chevy HHR. It's located on top of the engine. Using a T30 Torx bit, we're going to remove this bolt, as is broken, but yours you'll have to remove the bushing. So once you get that bolt out, it should free up this part of the engine cover. Using an 8mm socket, we're going to loosen up this hose clamp. Once it's loose, we're going to remove our hose from our engine cover and lift it up, and you're going to see a connector under here. On the very top here, you're going to push down, and then you're going to be able to get the connector disconnected. Like that, set that off to the side. Using a 6mm socket, we're going to loosen up this hose clamp. I'm near the windshield washer reservoir. We're going to disconnect this breathing hose. Once it's loose enough, you're going to pull that off. And now we can remove this. Pick this up and remove it. There's two bushings underneath that you have to detach from the engine. Right here and right here. Now we're going to disconnect our connectors, these four here, these two, and then we're going to also take them out of the valve cover. Let's start here. Squeeze this, pull it off. Now we're going to take these off. I'm going to slide a screwdriver under here, and I'm just going to pop this up. Do the same on this one. After you unlock these, you're going to put a flathead screwdriver in here, push back, and release it. Do the same for this one. Now we're going to take these out of the valve cover. If they break, you can replace them. They get hot and then they get fragile, but you can get them out in 1 or 3 pieces, that's fine, and just replace it. There's one over here in the back corner. Anywhere you see them that are on the valve cover, you're going to detach them. Now we're going to remove this hose clamp. Just move it down, and you're going to free up your hose. And now we can pull that off and set it aside. Now we're going to remove this. To do that, you're going to turn it to the left and remove it. Before removing all the coils, I usually like to label them. You can label them however you like. I usually just do 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I write the same number on the actual coil somewhere. That way I put them back where I found them. We're going to remove these with a 10mm socket. I'm just going to leave that bolt in there and move on to my next one. Once those bolts are free, we're going to remove them, pull that off, and set it aside. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to loosen up our bolts. They will just stay in the valve cover. We're going to start on the inside and work our way out. Now we're going to remove our valve cover. May have to crack it free. I'm just using a flathead screwdriver, and I'm gently prying up. Just be careful not to dent anything. It is aluminum, so it's soft. It's usually some silicone in where there's seams, so that's probably what's holding us back. If you can get your fingers under there, that's good. And then just ease it up. You also might need to keep unscrewing these if they're still in there. Just make sure they're free, like that one. May have to get the back corner in order to get it off. Once you get it loose, you can take it off. There is a bracket back here that you have to avoid. Once you get the valve cover off, you're going to get your harness out of the way so nothing falls in there. Just going to tuck it behind this bracket. And now we're going to remove this inner gasket as well. Just pull up on it. So now we're just going to continue to take our gasket off. It may take a little work. Ours is pretty stuck. I'm using a little flathead screwdriver. Just don't gouge the surface. You want to gouge the gasket. So this whole thing needs to come off. You're going to want to put some towels or something, rags in here, clean ones, before cleaning the surface so nothing falls in. And now we're just going to use this plastic razor blade and clean things up. If you need to use anything stronger than a plastic razor blade, be really careful not to gouge the surface. Now that we've cleaned the surface, we're going to pull out our rags to make sure the debris doesn't fall in the holes. Now we're ready to go over to the bench and put our gasket on our valve cover. We're going to transfer over our bolts and also these onto the new valve cover. In order to do that, you're going to use a trim tool or something like it, and you're going to pry up and pop that out. After you take that out, you are going to want to clean this up a little bit, maybe put some silicone paste on there just to hydrate them, because you're going to transfer them over to the new one. And you also want to take these out. When you take these out, the same idea, you're going to pop it out. And you're going to want to lubricate and clean these as well. You're going to put some silicone paste on this rubber bushing, and that'll hydrate it. And then you're going to put a rag between the valve cover and your pliers, and you're going to push it in. And do that for all of them. Using a 10mm socket, we're going to remove this bolt and transfer this over to the valve cover. We're going to hand thread this in. We're going to tighten this up. You're going to go about wrist tight. We're going to install our gasket. The skinny side goes inside, and this should be on the outside. Just line it up, push it in. You want it secure enough so when you flip over the valve cover, it doesn't fall out. And once you're done with this middle part, you're going to do the same on the outside. So let's look at our other gasket. Make sure your 3 squares or rectangles are right there. That's how you can line it up. And then you're going to push it into the space. Do one last look over, make sure your gasket's seated properly, and let's bring it over to the car. And you're sliding it over. You are going to have to watch out for that engine bracket over there. Before laying it down, you are going to want to make sure your harnesses are not in the way in the back and your gasket stayed on in the corners. So I'm going to just peek and pick this up. You can usually feel if it's not in place anymore. It feels good over there. Everything feels pretty good. So now we're going to get our bolts started. We're going to start tightening our bolts down. We're going to start from the inside and work our way out. And when I do these 4, I'm going to go in a crisscross manner. I'm only going to go about halfway to make sure it's flat and even. Now we're going to torque all of these at 89 inch-pounds. We're going to go in a crisscross manner here, and then we're going to work our way to these corners and these in the middle. I'm going to go through one more time. You should too, just to make sure, and then you should be good to go. Now you're going to put your harness back all the way around. To put this on, you're going to line it up over here and push in. There is a little notch right here that this fits into. Line it up and then turn it this way. We can replace our cap since it comes with one. Put our new cap in. Let's put these connectors on. Lock it in. Now let's put this hose on. You could put some silicone paste on there to help slide it on. Now we're going to slide our hose on and put our clamp back. Make sure you apply a little dielectric grease on your coil before installing. And press down. Get your bolt started. Tighten it down and torque it to 89 inch-pounds. Make sure you put them in the order that you set aside and continue all the way down. So now we've gotten all our bolts tight. We're just going to torque them to 89 inch-pounds. And just go right down the line. Now those are torqued. We're going to plug these in. Push it right on. We're going to match up these holes for this bracket in the back and place our engine cover back on. It's easier if you slide your hose on first, line up your oil filler, and then line up the 2 back grommets. Once you're lined up, push down. And now while we're on this side, we're going to put this hose on. Tighten up your hose clamp in the back to about wrist tight. Make sure it doesn't come off. Now we're going to plug in our mass airflow sensor. Make sure you hear that click. And now we're going to tighten up this hose. Once that's tight, just check. And now we're going to put our bolt in over here. Our bolt and bushing is broken, so I'm just going to do something else. Maybe you had to put your bolt in first to make all this work, but for us, we're going to do it this way. And then you should be good to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.